Britain first or Israel first?
Britain first.
Are you sure about that?
100%.
More than that?
No, I can't get more than 100, but if you like 200%, fuck it. Let's double down.
You're the first one who ever said Britain first. I'm proud of you.
Mad, isn't it? Yeah, I was speaking to he asked the British guy and I was there as well. He just couldn't say it.
Yeah.
He couldn't say Britain first.
Easy, Britain first, easy.
Why do you think that is?
Because I'm British.
No, why do you think people struggle to say Britain first?
Because they're idiots.
No, other than the ad hominem. Any deep reason?
Because they're not clever. So.
I don't think so.
But what do you think of Iran?
I think it's fair. I think it's fair.
How do you mean?
I think they're genuinely afraid to answer that question. I don't think they're idiots. I think they just want to keep their job.
No.
Because criticism.
I can tell people where I work and say, I believe Israel has a lot to answer for.
That's you, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I think from them, because criticism of Israel is being conflated with criticism of Judaism, that's why people are a bit dubious.
I know, but they should realise that we've got nothing to fear from criticising Israel. We're allowed to criticise any nation. And that's what I came to you. Would you criticise Iran and its regime?
In terms of?
The oppressive, forceful massacre of its protesting people,
you
restriction of rights to its women.
You said that last time. Do you also take that 30,000 number?
No, absolutely not.
Where's that from?
It's bullshit again.
It's like the 40 beheaded babies thing all over again.
Because I agree, like that number definitely is a load of hogwash. But I do need to be very pushy on you and say I need an opinion out of you.
I already told you last time.
Tell it again.
Yeah, which is if the regime has killed people,
yes, sir,
and that's been proven by independent sources, we absolutely condemn that.
Oh, excellent.
In fact, Iran has killed Muslims in Syria, and we absolutely condemn that.
Oh,
Iran has been part, even the people that have been killed in Yemen, we condemn that as well.
No,
but it's what I said last time that I'm reiterating, that doesn't make it okay to illegally invade that country.
No, it's totally fucked.
Yeah.
You said it quite well. A unilateral decision by two nations to intervene. That is not how this whole situation should have
I would
unfolded.
even say about Saudi, like their intervention, the people that were being killed in Yemen.
Yes.
And them holding hands when the invasion was happening in Iraq.
But I need to keep pushing on. So, although the number is most certainly not 30,000 for that massacre in January or whenever it was, there probably tens of thousands, or at least a ballpark figure of that amount of people killed.
How do you know?
How do I know? Because we have news outlets and
which news outlets?
We had information coming out of the country
about numbers.
Well, you're going to be able to get a ballpark. You're going to get a ballpark. You're going to be able to get an estimate.
There's nothing, Jamie. There's nothing.
This is very disingenuous.
No, when you're saying tens of thousands, bro, you can't determine tens of thousands.
No, I want it to be like, if we put 10k as the anchor point.
Bro, news is not enough. Because news was used as a criteria when that massacre was taking place, that genocide was taking place in Gaza. That was also something used in Syria. It was also used. It always gets used, but it's not accepted when it comes to an ally of the UK. When it's an ally of the UK, we have to be precise with these numbers. Especially when we're going to justify invading it.
No, so the invasion, absolutely, the intervention. It's not invasion.
No, it's an invasion, bro. What do you mean intervention? Who's America and UK to intervene anywhere?
No, it's not the UK.
And kill the leaders there.
We resisted.
No, but killing with the regime change. I'm sorry, who the F are you to dictate what regime stays or goes? Most of the UK wants this regime to go. Is it okay for Iran to come and behead Keir Starmer?
Let's stay on topic. That
is on topic.
No, it's not.
No one can decide to change regime unilaterally.
Not unilaterally, but as I asked you last time, before this happened, if a group of people wanted to strike against a regime that it thought was oppressing people, I think it has a moral...
No, it has to be via international law, bro. Otherwise we become animals.
No.
Anyone can do anything.
A cohort of people, like...
Which people?
Well, I'd say like any sort of Western liberal order.
No, not Western liberal order. The Western liberal order has proven itself inadequate when it comes to the handling of the Palestinian genocide, frankly.
Principally speaking, could some nations collect together and take an action on another nation, and then we call that a good action?
If the nations accept under international law. What I'm saying is you can't say, because the thing that unites us, we're in the West, therefore we can unilaterally now pick a country in the East that we have issues with. Human rights. Bro, it's never about human rights.
I'm saying it's a moral... for me, I think there is a moral argument for nations. If they see other nations oppressing its people, I would be motivated to intervene.
Then I think UK and US should be invaded. according to that logic.
So what oppression do you think's happening?
Oppression?
Yeah.
Oppression of freedom of speech.
Yeah.
People being jailed for menial and minor things.
Okay.
People's lives being affected. People being tortured.
What's that in reference to?
Yeah, in Guantanamo, when you've got people like Mossad Meddling saying that we had MI5 coming, knowing what was happening with us, and them supporting the regime over there.
Let's just
Even in Pakistan, I can give you places and black sites that are actually in connection with the CIA and MI5.
So let's just
one more thing. Even Shamima Begum, she's saying that she was sent to Syria through an agent of, through the Canadian Secret Services, known by British Secret Services.
Okay. So let's just evaluate then. So our moral principles are saying that nations can intervene in other nations if the levels of oppression are so bad. You said
I'm not accepting that criteria, by the way.
But you spoke for like half an hour.
But you're strawmanning me. But sure, go ahead, finish.
You're saying the criteria of nations intervening in other nations when the regime is oppressive to a certain level, you accept the principle and moral framing that's allowed, yeah? You said if you accepted that, then the UK should be invaded. So then I was asking you to talk about Iran, and so you're saying UK and Iran are on the same scales because the freedom of speech in the UK is so oppressed at the moment that it's equate to the Iranian freedom of speech. Do you really believe that? You really believe that, let's say, the oppression of women in the UK is equal to the oppression of women in Iran? The right to protest is equal in the UK as it is in Iran? No, I would evaluate these states as radically different. If you wanted to criticize the UK, I'd say, yeah, maybe some of its freedom of speech laws around here and there and there are a little bit dodgy, but it is not the same thing as having total censorship over the media, total blackout of information coming out of the internet. These are not the same, and to equate them is wildly disingenuous.
Agreed. However, you've misconstrued significantly what I said. I didn't accept your premise to begin with. My caveat was it has to be accepted within international law. I didn't say you can unilaterally decide. And then I said, according to what you're saying then the UK and US, according to your logic, should be invaded. Then you went on to say oppression of women. I would argue, according to them, the oppression of women here is worse. Right. When you've got women that are, that have 3 kids, that are being forced to go on OnlyFans, that are being forced culturally, societally to strip themselves, walk out, with very less clothing. According to them, that is oppression of women over here, whilst according to you, it's oppression of the women over there because they are clothed.
Okay, let me say.
Yeah. Well, sorry. There was another thing that you said as well.
No, let's just stick on that women topic.
Okay.
Well, let's say, which group is getting oppressed, the UK women or the Iranian women? Well, let's go and ask the...
And according to what framework?
And let's go ask to themselves. Let's go ask the women. Let's go ask the Iranian women, are you being oppressed? Oh, hang on a second, we can't. We can't go ask them. They tried to go and protest, and it was cracked down upon by the moral police. They've had students taking off their hijabs or whatever, and they've been cracked down upon. So let's go ask the British women. Oh, at least we can talk to them at least. At least if they want to protest, they can go protest.
And what are they saying?
The UK women?
Yeah.
Well, I don't see them on the street at the moment. Are they saying Me Too and violence happens, yeah? So yeah, there is problems in the UK with women's rights.
You're now having to put up posters of saying, can you stop staring at women in the underground station?
So you are equating them. You're equating them.
4 out of 5. No, what I'm
saying
saying
is... You think these are the same?
No, what I'm saying is that Iran will see the women over here being oppressed. People over here will see the women over there being oppressed.
Mental.
That's not enough to take that as a yardstick.
That's mental.
Yeah, it's mental that you use that as a justification to invade another country.
No, it's not a justification. It's not a justification.
To use your subjective measure of, I believe, covering and me not speaking to random women is oppressing, therefore I can bomb them to kingdom come. I think that's the most retarded opinion that I've heard since a long time.
The IRGC have literally got moral police that go around and enforce this rule that people must be covered.
So it's okay to bomb the women?
No, women collectively.
That's your logic. Bomb them then.
There is an argument to intervene. If the moral...
And what happened? How did you intervene?
You are interrupted.
150 girls in the school were killed.
You're interrupted. Yeah, so you interrupted me.
150 girls.
You're interrupting me and you're jumping around. First of all, you've equated the UK and Iran when it comes to women's rights. This is an outlandish statement and it cannot just be let to stand. As I was saying, if we saw the oppression that was happening, the IRGC...
Why is that oppression in Iran?
Where?
Why is that oppression?
Because they are a theocratic dictatorship.
That's not a reason. That's your interpretation. And why is that a bad system of governance? Prove it.
I don't know why you are so defensive on this subject.
No, prove it. I'm defensive when you are making claims tens of thousands of people over there have been killed. The women over there are being oppressed. It's a theocratic dictatorship and that. Yeah, why is that wrong? According to what framework?
Islam.
According to Islam.
What, you think
that's what you're following?
No, I'm saying if we use that
No, what framework are you using to tell me that that's wrong?
A liberal humanists.
Yeah, why
Humanists.
Prove it. Prove that's what we need to follow.
No, I'm not going to prove it to you. I'm going to ask
you. You do need to prove it.
I'm going to say, anyone that agrees with me that the deliberate suffering and oppression of a people is wrong, you can come and be on my team. We're going to collectively say,
why should I be on your team?
Because we believe these things to be self-evident. Life,
self-evident.
And the pursuit
Liberalism is self-evident.
No, this is what we are claiming. This is our stake. If you want to be
so you can bomb someone because it's what you believe.
I will take
that's extremism.
So, sir, let's say you're walking along and you see a man hitting a woman, yeah? Yeah? You see a man hitting a woman. Are you going to run over and stop the person?
If that man, a man hitting a woman?
Yeah.
Yeah, what if it's a military man and I go there and I get shot by the military?
Then sometimes it's good to die for justice.
Well, that's your framework, and you're gonna have to prove that.
If you don't want to put all the money on the line when it comes to justice, then whatever.
Okay, so
you go live your immoral life.
Okay, so here's what you're saying.
Yeah.
You're saying we need to come on your team because you believe in a liberal framework. When I ask you to prove your liberal framework, it's what words did you say?
Self-evident.
It's self-evident.
No, I was going to say we take these things to self-evident. We take the axiomatic principles. The reduction of suffering and the liberty of people are good things, and the preservation of life are good things. We take this as self-evident, so we cannot.
I don't think you do, because if your justification is that women over there are being oppressed, and the first thing you do is bomb school.
Not me.
Yeah, because that's your team, remember?
Come
on, stick with your team here.
I can self-criticize my own team,
okay.
and I heavily self-criticize my own team. I'm asking you to criticize your team.
But
Islam,
before that,
Iran.
But before that, 150 girls were killed in a school.
Horrible, despicable.
The women, right?
Young girls.
Yeah, young girls. But potential women, right?
Yes.
So how is that women's rights? That's oppressive, right? Self-evident oppressive.
I gave you the credit that you said it nicely. The unilateral decision of two nations to intervene in this area was disastrous, and I totally agree. But
you believe it to be justified.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb.
No, you believe it to be justified that few countries can come together under their liberal framework and they can decide if that woman over there is being oppressed or that system of governance there is incompatible with what we believe to be self-evident. Therefore, it's now okay to attack them with depleted uranium and white phosphorus.
No. There is a moral case. There is a moral case for nations to try and gain as broad of coalition as possible to try and make it justified to strike where they think oppression is being handed out.
I said international law, and you said no.
But you're saying international law because you want everyone to hold hands and whatever. This is like.
Then how else do you do it?
Like I said, a broad coalition of people that believe.
No. You're saying people now. You meant West.
Nations.
Of the West.
Well, if like any other nation wants to come aboard,
the white man. No.
Just
say the white man.
Well, no, I believe that all people should have a
stride. The white man should be able to bomb the brown man.
No. I believe all people have a stride in to live by other people's happiness and have a despicable feeling when people are infringed their liberties and rights.
So you go there, you bomb schools, then it's okay.
No, you keep trying to make me either be on the war side or be on the moral idea of philosophy, intervention. I would like to intervene in a clever way. I have the balls to intervene cleverly, and I think this is dumb. And I asked you, if we were walking along and some man was hitting some woman, would you intervene? And you said, well, maybe I'd get hurt.
No, that's not what I said. What did I say?
I might die. He might be a military guy and he'll shoot me.
He might be a military man. Because a military man is allowed to use excessive force if they've been sanctioned by the government, according to your liberal values, right?
Well, yeah, in a sense, There
you go. So you accept that. We're on the same team when it comes to this.
Well, I was just saying, I think the criteria in Iran, we have a moral case to make about the oppression forced on the people, and if we could smartly intervene, which this is absolutely catastrophically, he should be impeached, but there is still a moral case to intervene in the oppression of people and the liberation of people.
That moral case, firstly, can't be proven, because you're saying these moral cases is self-evident. Prove it then.
Yeah, but you can go to the ivory tower of philosophy. I'm saying in lived life, if I tell these people, do you want to live by each other's happiness, liberty, and preservation of life? Yeah, I would say you will say, yeah, that doesn't sound like too bad.
That's because it's wishy-washy. You're living some hippie, what's that word?
And what are you
I'll
living?
tell you why. Because you don't believe in preservation of life.
And what are you
because
living?
The government's
what are
just.
You living?
I'm telling you what I'm living in. I don't believe that a fetus can be aborted until birth, when that's just been passed by the Houses of Parliament, whilst this country also claims to preserve life. On the other hand, infanticide is rising to extortionate levels.
This is nonsense.
On the other hand, you're talking about the pain principle, but it's okay, sorry, there's kids here, but to chop off the sausage or the kebab of the pencil. It depends where they're from, it depends on the girth. So depend and cut it off. But over there, the pain principle, it's okay. It's fine over there because it's freedom. But when a woman wants to dress in a certain way because it's her choice, it's freedom. No. Over there in France, no, she can be held at gunpoint.
But the problem.
Sorry. Just to end this one point, this is what I actually wanted to say. Because if you're talking about intervention according to liberalism, let's look at the intervention that actually took place. If 1 second, if it was done according to the moral idea that we need to liberate the woman, when the first thing that was done was a school was bombed.
Wrong.
I know. But let me give you another thing as well. 150 girls were killed, but also in Lebanon, white phosphorus, which melts the skin and goes to the bone.
I do not agree.
But listen to my conclusion. This is what happens when you allow people that have a facade of democracy but an internal nature of dictatorship, like Netanyahu, like Trump, that are able to enforce, because Trump, we know, went beyond Congress, and we know Netanyahu, and Netanyahu hasn't been exactly following the procedures of the Knesset. So you can argue that they are following dictatorial procedures in order now to go over there and use the facade of morality. But kill innocent people. So that's what I'm saying. This is going back to your original point, that if you allow countries to unilaterally...
No, I won't do it.
Unilaterally make this decision, even if it is a cohort of countries...
Broad.
But broader, I would say, has to incorporate not just the West, like you said, the East as well. So they can
I've got to
speak for themselves, right?
I've got to
not
ask
a white man making the decision for them.
Of course not. I've got to ask you that. Where do you stand? I want you to evaluate.
I already told you at the beginning. And you agreed with me.
So tell me again, where do you stand? To look at Iran, you said, if you
I don't think it's justified to invade them.
You said, in France, the people have to wear if they want to wear it, why are they getting shot in the head? Yes, but if we look in Iran, we believe not many. It's a large cohort of people that don't want to wear it, and they are forced to wear it.
How do you know?
Because I follow the news. We try and get information. It's called journalism. It's called
news, bro. Come on, man.
It's called journalism. Journalism.
Do you believe journalism nowadays?
Oh my fucking
That's not
God.
journalism.
You're unbelievable. So just a question for you.
Yeah.
This is absolute absurdity. You're saying all knowledge about the world is totally in doubt now.
That's not what I said.
You just said, can you trust journalism?
Right.
What am I going to do? Go over to Iran and check it myself?
I'll tell you. When you look at the cohort of the biggest papers and the biggest news...
This is such a straw man. I'm saying...
let me finish the point.
No, because it's a straw man. Can you extract information out of Iran and get it to me so that I understand rather about the situation on the ground in Iran? Is that possible?
It's possible, yes.
Okay, do you think I might have done that?
No.
So, have you done that?
Yes.
Okay, can you tell me what you think the facts on the grounds are? What is the level of dissatisfaction with the regime from the base of the people?
There's definitely dissatisfaction. After the killing of Khamenei, that dissatisfaction has reduced, and there is actually a galvanizing of satisfaction, actually. So this concept of regime change has been flipped over the head because you're...
And they're going, regime, we want more regime.
No, they're actually saying that we actually need to survive now.
Okay.
In fact, so you've got the likes...
So if we go back in time, because you're bringing us right up to date, let's say...
No, I'm answering your question. So Professor Jeffrey Sachs, what he said, he actually gave a case study.
He's such a dick.
Yeah, so he said that if you looked at the people at the time of Nazi Germany, there were a third of the people that were actually against the Nazi party, and they were actively protesting, etc.
Nice.
After 10 years worth of oppression, bombing, this, that, even that third of people then switched and were in line with the Nazi party. Why? Because they had been forced to pick between regime and survival. And I think that's what's happening now. This indiscriminate bombing of hospitals and schools of innocent people, because bombs don't decide is that a woman or if that's a man, is that a child, is that a Sunni or a Shia, is that someone of the regime or is that not somebody of the regime. That's the most ridiculous argument if someone was to make it.
So if we go back a month ago, and then, so before the whole intervention started, the whole war, whatever, it started, and then we look back like 2 or 3 or 4 years before that, and we evaluate the sort of feeling, like I said, of the people towards the regime. Give me a sense on the ground of what they're sort of in that period before all of this.
Yeah, so based on Western media.
No. I asked you, have you gotten information out? You're not the bad information, the good information.
I was going to tell you both, but you stopped me when I was giving you one.
Start with the good information.
Start with
good information.
Yeah, so they said there was dissent and there were protests that were taking place.
Say?
And then when the protests were hijacked by Mossad, according to. What do you mean?
No, I'm looking at him. He's nodding along.
Okay.
What? No people are ever impressed in Iran. Like,
it's so silly. The first few days of the are you going to listen to it? The first few days of the protest were peaceful. Why did they suddenly change? They changed because Mossad and CIA had boots on the ground, and they gave weapons to the demonstrators. Why would Iranians bomb their own mosques and their fire stations? Why would they kill their own police officers? Don't be silly. If you care that much about them, lobby your government to lift the sanctions on the Iranian people. Don't talk this nonsense that they were all terror. It was a peaceful protest. That's where the change.
Sanctions affects everyone, right?
If you really cared about them, lobby your government.
Okay. I was asking Shishan, like he said he can get good information out of Iran and he can tell me the facts on the ground. It seems like you've given me some facts on the ground. So the story you're sort of saying is the peaceful Iranians were protesting against their government, and it was a rather peaceful protest. And it was just like the run-of-the-mill sort of stuff. In Iran, this is how like the rules get updated. There's just peaceful protest, and the regime listens to that peaceful protest, and everything goes along quite swimmingly. Is that what you're saying?
Sorry.
If there was not an intervention, if there was not mingling by Mossad and the US, if they didn't get their hands involved, the people in Iran, when they were protesting, let's say the women that were taking off their things, that would have just unfolded naturally, are you saying? Like in a nice way. I'm saying, is there rights and protections for protesters in Iran?
Of course there was. Did you see
those? Of course there was.
Hold on a second. Did you see those peaceful protesters on the first 2 or 3 days being killed? Did you? Not a single one of them. When did it change? It changed when certain people on the ground were given weapons by Mossad. And by the way, Israeli TV channels have openly admitted they gave weapons to these people.
Even their Twitter handles. Even Mike Pompeo admitted as well.
Mike Pompeo went on to Israeli TV and said, I'm telling you Mossad are on the ground. And more importantly than that, on Israeli TV channels that are pro-Netanyahu, they've admitted it as well. The first 3 days, no one died. That's the evidence I'm giving you. It changed. Why did it change?
Because like you're telling me, so some Iranians took the weapons that were given to them by the Mossad and the CIA, and they started using them against the regime. That's why the conflict started. Then that's what you're telling me.
No, I'm saying that yes, some of them were given weapons, but it wasn't just them. It was Mossad agents on the ground that were doing this.
So there were Mossad. How many are Mossad agents? Would you say?
I'm not on the ground. How can I know? But what I can tell you is when senior ex-politicians of the US administration go onto Israeli TV and tell you they're on the ground, then surely we have to believe them because they know they've got the evidence, haven't they?
I'm just getting this sense because it seems like you're telling me like my opinion of the Iranian regime is that like it's rather
not a regime. It's an Islamic republic. It's interesting the words that you use.
Okay.
Because you'd never describe Israel as a regime, would you? But yet it's killed more people than the Iranian regime has ever done. So why is it that you use a word to describe Iran?
What words would you like me to use?
Well, it's a republic. It's an Islamic republic.
So what do I say? The government?
You can say whatever you want.
The government?
We're not going to be bought into this Western narrative that it's a regime.
I'm asking.
It's a republic.
Okay, but what do we call the leaders, the implementation? We would call it government in the UK. What would we call it over there? The state, like the leaders. The leaders
of the republic.
Yeah, and do they vote each other in, or is it voted in?
Is what voted?
Is the leader voted in?
Well, they have elections like any other country.
Oh, that's cool. So it's like a democracy.
Well, they voted in a reformist candidate 3 years ago, but somehow the Iranians are seen as terrorists. But 75% of Iranian voters 3 years ago voted in a reformist candidate who wanted peace for the West.
Did he come in? Did he come in? Did he come into power? Did he come into power? Did that man come into power?
Of course he does. He's in power now.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, I'll get you his name. He's the president of. I'll get you his name.
The president of
He's
Iran.
a reformist candidate, and he was voted in by 75% of the 75% of the voters. So what does that tell you about the Iranian public? It tells you they actually want peace.
Yeah. So we've got like a democratic nation, democratic republic that's voting in candidates that are friendly to the US and not friendly, that want to like make friendly relations with the world. Yeah, this is what your
always wanted
this is what your characterization
I'm not
of Iran
characterizing
is.
it at all.
No, that you are characterizing
The US and Israel has meddled into Iranian affairs for too long. Let's go back a little bit. Let's not just talk about the last few weeks. Back in '53, Mossad, democratically elected. He was loved by his people, but because he wanted to nationalize the oil industry, we decided to undertake a coup to get rid of him, and he then died in prison. And then what happened then?
You accept that, right?
Yeah, you accept that, don't you?
No, I need to do more study in this area of the region.
Well, he was a democratically elected
I've never heard such positions played.
That's actually in CIA declassified
No, I'm not talking
documents.
about that specific one.
And so what did they do? They installed the Shah of Iran. What did the Iranians
Oh, we're going
have?
there. Oh, it's going all the way
Because
back
they had
there.
26 years of.
Because they're trying to bring the Shah back, right?
They're trying to bring the
So
Shah
that's why
back.
that's
It's
relevant.
important.
I'm trying to establish facts on the
Because they're trying
ground.
to bring his son back.
I'm trying to evaluate facts on the ground and the sort of state of play in
But if
Iran
they-
at the moment. I've just had
That is the state of play
yeah,
because some want the son, right? But the son
Yeah.
of who? The father is important if you're talking about the son, and that's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's all linked because they're trying to bring Pahlavi back now.
No, you're going back to that. I know a little bit about that stuff.
Yeah.
I was just trying to stay in the
They
modern
were
era.
a
I
democracy
was just
before
trying to.
we intervened in that land. They're
I'm
sick
very
and
well
tired
aware
of
that.
the
I'm very-
Brits, the Americans,
Okay.
the Russians, the
So
French.
just
they're
like
tired of it.
let me try and let's say this didn't happen. Like I said to Zishan, this is an absolutely horrific war, invasion, intervention. Yeah, I do not agree with it in one iota. It's totally disastrous. Yeah, let's say we can go back in time before this happened and Trump isn't in power and Netanyahu isn't in power. No, yeah, whatever. It's not in power. Yeah. Let's say the Iranian people and the Iranian state and the Iranian Republic was just left to be, yeah? You sort of have given it the idea that 75% of the people voted in like the leader of one of its bodies and that they were going to be friendly to the world and not like too extremist or such. That's your characterization.
That's exactly right. Yes,
Okay.
and I'm not going to move from that.
Okay.
So go on if you want to debate
What's your
with me. Go
critique
ahead.
of that, though? Why is
What's
that
your
not a
opinion
good
of that?
It just seems absolutely mental.
Oh,
On
but
what
okay.
basis?
Oh, yeah.
On like the news that I've
Go from BBC and
It can't
CNN.
change. Your
Yeah.
mindset won't change.
I've asked him the question to present his
Would
picture
you
fairly.
ever be that critical of Israel? The Likud. No, hold on a second.
Don't change the
Let me-
topic.
I'm not
Don't
changing
change the topic.
Based on what you've just said. No, hold on. I'm going to make a point. I'll let you come back. The Likud party, Netanyahu's party, has dominated Israel for the last 45 years, and all they've ever wanted is conflict in the Middle East. But you would never refer to him and his party in that way. But yet you mock the Iranians for wanting peace and a democracy. You never speak about Israel in that way. And that party's dominated Israeli politics. So why is it you never ever mention that in the same terms that you mentioned the Iranian?
I think something very funny has happened here.
Not
If we
at all.
want
This is serious. It's not funny.
if we rewind the tape for the last minute that I just spoke, I was recategorizing, like telling you what you've told me about the Iranian state. I used all the words you wanted me to say. I said all the information back to you, and now you're sort of saying
Because you
that I'm
mocked
talking about
as
it
if
wrong.
It wasn't a democracy. Your body language shows
Yeah,
us quite clearly you're mocking them.
No.
And I'm saying to you, you would not mock Israel in the same way, even though it's tried to cause terror in that region for
And so-
decades. That's my point. That's why I responded to you.
To give
Because
words
of your body language.
to give words to my
So you're a hypocrite, really, aren't you?
to give words to my mockery, I said I have never heard this position before. I do find it very wild. Very, very wild. I did say also I do need to get a bit more information about this
Yeah, I think you probably do.
situation. But I just want to get you both on record. I hope this keeps saying that like this is your characterization of this state. It seems wonderful. Almost optimistic.
No one's
we
saying
just
it's
we just like
wonderful.
sort of let go and they're going to be free and liberal.
Nobody's saying it's wonderful.
It's going to be good. It's going to be a dreamland.
Utopia doesn't exist anywhere.
No, but they're
when
gonna-
an electorate votes in a reformist
Yeah,
candidate,
yeah.
75%,
That's it.
what is that telling you? Is that a country that wants war with its neighbours, or that it actually wants change? What's it actually telling you? That's my point.
Like I said, I don't know much about this.
Yeah, well, maybe you should go away and
I'm
study
gonna-
it
no,
then.
yeah, maybe, but I'm going to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Were women allowed to vote in this election thing?
You know what?
Can I just get the answer to that question first? Were the women,
In what election?
the one you're referring to?
What, in 2022?
That was
Yes,
the one you
of
were.
course they were. They were
Okay,
allowed
excellent.
to
Yeah,
vote.
go.
In a number of provinces. Go away and do your research.
I will.
They weren't stopped from voting.
So there were
That's
a
a weird
couple
way
of
of
things
putting
that
it.
they said. Yeah, they said that Iran.
Sorry to interrupt.
No worries.
No,
It
it's good.
was
It's
a
good. Yeah,
interruption,
good,
yeah.
yeah.
They said that they've got atomic weapons, yeah? They've got
Yeah, that's
nuclear
bullshit.
weapons.
That's bullshit.
That's bullshit as well.
But they do have the Richmond facilities. They were
But
on
they
a
don't have
trajectory.
nuclear weapons,
No,
otherwise they
absolutely
wouldn't be
not.
attacked.
No.
Then they said, we're going to do regime change. Trump.
Yeah, no, they're talking bollocks. Yeah,
Trump
no.
has just come out yesterday, we want to wind it down now. So that's not happening either. A school was bombed, hospitals were
Yeah,
bombed, the white phosphorus
terrible.
was dropped on Lebanon.
Despicable.
Israel got its free reign, it utilized and flexed its power.
Yeah.
Trump has lost his vote base.
Yeah.
A lot of regular people are struggling, are suffering. The sanctions, he mentioned the sanctions, that I think it's very good he brought it up, because if we truly care about Iran, why would we want to suffocate its general population?
Because we believe there was a regime that is oppressing and being tyrannical.
Believe.
Yes.
It's a religion.
No. Excuse me. Can I ask you a
belief,
question?
right?
A little while ago, I heard that there were like university women that were protesting, grouping together, like young women, protesting against the IRGC and the moral police to take off, and they threw it off, and it was crushed with like force and violence. Was that a real situation?
Well, I don't know if it is or not, but all I would say to you... No, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Hold on. If that happened, and I don't know if it did, every country in the world has its issues.
Oh,
it's
my
not, Hold
goodness.
on. No, hold
Oh,
on.
my God.
Hold on. Every country in the world has it, and you bring up just that particular point. But what about those that actually don't want war with its neighbours? What about that critical mass within Iran that might not support the Islamic Republic and its leaders, or who might support the Republic and its leaders? What about the critical mass? Because you can bring that up. I would say back to you, the vast majority of people in Iran do want peace.
I agree. That's what
So
upsets
you
me.
can-
Hang on, let me respond.
That's
Let me
just one
respond, please.
example.
I agree. That's why I'm so energized in this situation, because I do believe there's like a big, large mass of people in Iran that do want to be free and peaceful and live by the more thing. But I thought that there's a regime that is at the top of this whole thing, and it has a mechanism called the moral police and such, to enforce theocratic dictatorship onto the people. And I do not believe they are free, as you do tell me. I think they are repressed by a small cohort. That's why I'm saying I would like to get rid of that small cohort and liberate the people. That was my picture of
Do
the
you think
situation.
Mossad should be able to decide and do that?
Absolutely, the Trump and Israeli situation is unbelievably out of hand.
So surely the Iranians should be able to do that themselves, right?
We would love to do it. I like I told you before, I believe there's moral cases to help people that are in liberation struggles, and I think there's patterns and difficulties in doing that. And I tell you again,
That's better than bombing them. I think we can both agree on that.
So I've told you a million times, Trump and Israeli and thing, they are absolutely horrific in this
You did,
angle.
but in the same breath, you're also saying that intervention is okay when a cohort of countries come
Yes.
together and decide
Yes.
that said morals, if they go
Yes.
against us, we can go there
Yes.
and we can start
Yes.
bombing them.
Yes, do you not agree with that?
No, because the first thing
So
they
let me just
bombed
ask you
was a school
You're talking
with
about
150
the how.
girls.
We need to stay in the abstract theoretical.
No, when 150 girls
I condemn-
are killed, no, we're in the now.
I condemned that type of intervention.
Well, that's not going to bring them back, is it?
But I asked you a question. I want to know about your principles about intervention. If we were the leaders
No,
of
the
nations,
intervention should not be decided by
you're scared
Mossad
of the
in
question.
America.
I answered that as well.
Yeah.
I'm saying if a cohort of nations saw
Yeah, and
that
you
an-
said
hang on,
Western
let me ask
cohort.
my question. Yeah, if a cohort of nations saw that another nation was violently oppressing its people, is there a moral case to be made that the cohort of nations should intervene to try to prevent it?
If international law is followed. I already told you that from the beginning.
Yeah.
But you're saying, no international law, we don't want to hold hands, it has to be a cohort of Western countries.
No, it's not.
And I've answered that as well.
It's not a it's not. I did say cohort.
Where's
Western.
your evidence that the vast majority
No, I'm not
of people
talking about that. I'm talking about.
Where's your evidence that the vast
I'm ju-
majority of Iranians want countries from outside their land to bomb them,
CNN,
kill the
Can I
school
ask you a
children,
question?
BBC.
kill the school children in Minab?
Yeah.
160
Can I ask
girls
you-
between
actually,
7 and
ha-
12.
has the-
Where's your evidence that Iranians wanted them school children to die? They wanted their own children to die. They
What
wanted
the
their
hell are
own
you talking
mosques
about?
to be
I
burned.
wasn't really paying attention.
They wanted their own
what are you on
Iranian
about?
police officers.
Can
to
I
be
ask
shot.
you a question again?
No.
Okay, do you want to ask a
I
question?
said, where is your evidence that the vast majority of Iranians were more than happy for nations outside their land to come and bomb them? That they wanted, they wanted the school in
You're
Minab.
playing. You also.
asking you for evidence.
Yes, I
said
know.
that
You're
you
not in
believe
dialogue,
in-
sir. You're talking too much.
You said that you believe in a cohort of nations being able
So
to go
did you.
in. But
So
no-
did you.
Oh, no, I didn't.
He didn't, I did.
He was
did.
agreeing with
His
you. He was
position.
agreeing with you.
Because my-
Okay, so we agree that cohorts of nations follow international
So they
can do intervention.
So they
do you
can
believe or not?
override. They can override the Iranian people themselves, can they?
Okay, well,
They-
Mr.
they
Shah
can-
believe yes.
No, you can only do that if you go via international international law. If you
Okay,
use
so
the
yeah, you're with us.
mechanisms
Yeah, I agree.
So where
International
was
law.
the UN resolution for
It
them to
wasn't-
bomb that
it
school
wasn't-
in
It
Minab?
wasn't there.
Where was it? When were they a threat? When was America a threat in the last 6 weeks that gave it a reason to bomb
Sir,
them?
are you not listening to my answer?
Oh, I am, but you're not answering my
I am
question.
condemning the intervention that is done by the US and Israeli. I'm happy that my government resisted in as way as it could this whole
The resistance was a facade only.
We haven't resisted.
What
The US Air Force are in the UK putting bombs on their planes
Bro,
to
you
go
need to
bomb
subscribe
the
to
Iranians.
Declassified UK.
Okay.
Declassified
Don't be
UK
silly.
put
Okay,
out
okay.
images
Well,
in which
if my
British
nation-
soldiers were seen
It's not-
to
it's
be
my
loading up
nation as
American
well.
planes.
Yeah,
Do you
if our
think-
nation
Do you
is,
think I want to see our
you guys have no idea how to follow threads.
And you do.
Because
Keep going round in circles.
I said, I do not agree one iota with the US, Israeli, and the aid of the UK in this intervention. Full stop. Do you understand that?
Yeah, but you believe in a intervention, though.
So do you.
Yes, but that a intervention you condemned and you said not international law because we don't want
I
to be
changed
holding
my
hands.
posi- I changed my position.
Okay, then that's different, then, isn't it?
So we all agree
That's a
that
very important-
intervention, when it is UN, all agreed.
Follow international law,
law,
then
yeah.
I agree with you. Then
Great.
we have an agreement there.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they didn't have that, did they?
No.
What
No,
does,
they did
what
not
does
have that.
What does Article 2 of the UN Charter tell
No,
you?
I'm not going
No,
there.
but come on. It tells you can only act in self-defense or if
You
you have a
need
UN
different
resolution.
opponent. You need a different opponent. You need someone that supports this intervention. Because I do not support this intervention. You're attacking
Okay,
someone.
well,
No, but you
I'm
kind
not
of
that
do.
guy.
You kind of do, though, because what you're saying, I'll tell you, and you tell me if
told
I'm
you a million
strawmanning.
times.
So you're saying the oppression of women in that country warrants
Absolutely.
an interference.
Exactly.
I would be shouting my head off at the UN intervention team. I would be saying to you, and that's why I came to ask you, what do you think's happening in Iran? And I asked you the same thing, and you both said it's the land of honey and glory.
I never said it was
hang
the land
on,
of
let me
honey and
finish
glory.
my sentence. Let me finish my sentence.
Don't
If
strawman me, please.
it's the
I never
land,
said that.
it's the land of voting and self-determination. If only the US and Israelis were to retreat. You told me if they were to retreat, it would be the land of self-determination.
They've got no right to be there. Don't you understand?
He's avoiding the.
Yeah.
He's avoiding
No,
the
you
question.
did straw
You're
man him,
avoiding
though.
the question.
You did straw man him,
strawmanned
you
me.
did.
You're
Don't
avoiding-
strawman me. Listen
What
to
did I
what I'm
say?
actually saying.
Go on then.
Well, you've just strawmanned me, so what's the point? You've got to listen to what people are saying when you debate with them. What we're saying to you is that the Iranian people are more united now than they've ever been because what Trump and Netanyahu and our own Prime Minister has done, no Iranian politician could ever do that. It's united
Sir,
the Iranian people
I've
more
told
than any
you.
politician
I
could
told
ever do.
you. I do not agree with this intervention in one iota, in one amount, in any small part. Do I agree with this?
Right. So, but what you're missing is when you accept a intervention. how
You
is
accept
that-
it as well.
Yeah.
You accept it as well.
If it is done under international law.
And so I'm saying.
Let me finish my point now. Because according to international law, it is never okay to invade a country because you don't like the way they dress, or you can't go and speak to them, or you don't believe that they are getting a chance to vote or not. That's never okay to go there and start bombing their schools
Okay.
and white phosphorus or this and that, because that's eventually what's going to happen.
Okay, let's say in this nation, the way people dress is critically important. And the regime, if anyone takes off the way they dress, bang, 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 bang. Am I allowed to intervene then?
Yeah, but when you're saying
Yeah,
bang,
good.
bang, bang,
Yeah.
bang, bang, where are you getting that from? CNN, BBC, and Fox?
Well, I thought I'd talk to my interlocutors at the park and ask them what they thought was life
we
on the
already
ground.
told you that.
And I asked you.
Yeah, and we told you that it didn't happen the way you're saying
And
it.
then I'm asking him about the university protest that happened, where the young women were taking it off, and I said it was put down with violence and force.
Because if you follow that criteria, then India should be okay to invade India.
Do you not follow that criteria?
Because of that criteria of them killing minorities, what's it? Lynching them in public. Every day news comes out. No one wants to invade India. No one's even talking about it over here. Mr. Freedom and liberal democracy over here doesn't even know what's going on over there. Do you know what's going on over there?
We're talking about in India.
India,
I'm not going to
absolutely.
teleport to India. I'm going to stay looking at
Did you
Iran.
teleport to Iran?
No, well, unfortunately not.
Then why are you talking about Iran?
They turned
because
off-
over there you
they-
don't want to talk about India because
they
you
turned
you
off-
can't teleport there.
They turned off the internet, did they not, in Iran?
They turned off the internet in India as well, in Kashmir.
Okay, don't go to India. Don't go to India.
I'm not in India, I'm here in the UK, brother.
We're going to stay. We're going to
Believe me, I'm not allowed to go there. My YouTube channel's banned there. You know that, because of freedom of speech.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to speak about it.
Banned there,
But
bro.
I will say then, if we get it back, as a humanist, I believe if my eye looks anywhere and
Modi sucks.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, and I see suffering, like deliberate oppression and tyrannical, does it not invoke you to sort of rise up?
Does it not invoke you when babies are being aborted when they're close to delivery?
So
No, why are you going like that
this
when a
is-
baby is about to be delivered
This is
and it can be
absolutely
aborted?
not happening in the way that you would
What about
depict it.
euthanasia?
Hang on, you're changing subjects.
No, that's killing people.
You're changing subjects.
Euthanasia killing people.
Do you want to talk
Abortion
about-
killing people.
Okay.
Or some killing people is okay, some is not.
I have to have a chance to talk about them.
Okay, go on.
There is absolutely no way in the UK that it is going to become legally common to be able to terminate a fetus.
They've already done that.
They absolutely haven't. Bob was telling me the same shit. I was trying to look at it, but I'm not really paying attention to much. That was probably one thing I'll go check out. I'm going to just tell you, that level of extraordinary claim is absolutely no way going to be the norm, yes? The norm in the UK is around 24 weeks or whatever. The viability of a fetus plays a part in this, and whatever. That is what the laws are there. Euthanasia, if you want to talk about that, yes, I do believe that there can be a case made for the moral.
Kill the old man, huh?
Well, let me ask you, let me put the burden onto you. As I asked
No,
Bob,
is it okay to kill the old man?
I believe so, if the old man fits some criteria.
Don't you want to preserve life?
Well, unfortunately, I do want to do that, but sometimes life can be almost not worth living because of pain and suffering. So let me put it onto you, yeah? Let's say I'm there, terminal illness, lung cancer, very aggressive form of cancer, yeah? I'm very old and I start coughing my lungs up, I'm in pain and it's obvious, very much certain I'm going to die. Do I have to lay in bed on morphine for 4 weeks, or am I allowed to euthanize myself?
Bro, you could say that, forget an old man, I could say even for a young man, if
Yeah.
he's going through pain and you say, do you want to be put out of your misery?
Terminal pain. Terminal.
Bro, terminal, heartbreak, this, that.
No,
if you start
no,
opening
no,
doors
no.
to pain, bro, young people
So?
will say, and that's why you have an
Sishan?
epidemic of people taking their own lives because of heartbreak issues,
Sishan?
because of family issues, because of abuse, this,
So,
that.
so can I respond? So you will bite the bullet. You'll bite the bullet and say, that old man in that bed with terminal lung cancer has to lay there and suffer in pain.
I'm
Because you
saying there
say-
is always a potential that a cure or something can be bought that can improve the quality of his life.
Yeah.
Because even science accepts induction and believes tomorrow there might be a clinical trial of something that maybe I might be able to get my patient into a clinical trial next week. But hey, I've decided to put him out of his misery here
No.
because I'm Mr. Liberal over here. So you know what? Bye, old man. Have fun in wherever you're going. Valhalla or wherever you believe he
The
goes.
flippancy by which it will be administrated will not be like this. As I say, this lung cancer and the strength of it will be evaluated by a medical doctor. It's not going to be like, oh bloody hell, we shot him in the head, but we have this medicine laying around. All other viable options to help this man and not be terminal or to relieve his suffering in a polite way would be used. But if we, and our best understanding and our best expert come to the conclusion it is a very high chance this man is going to die from this disease, then you must say, no, he must live on the 0.1% chance a cure is going to come along.
It's not 0.1%. Let's just say the cure might be 0.1%. However, the mistakes healthcare professionals have made when they have said that this person has a terminal illness, a lot of cases, not 0.1%, I would say up to 25%. They have been proven, even though they've said terminal, that person has survived and continued to
No, that
live.
doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense.
That's
you mean they
statistically
wouldn't-
fact.
You said those that have been euthanized, 25% of them live. That doesn't make any sense.
No, I'm saying, listen to what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that when doctors say this person there's no hope for, and you know what, that's it, you need to kill him, I'm saying that those individuals, through
Yes, I know
other
what you're saying.
therapies
Yeah, I
and
know what
this
you're
and that, have gone on to
Yeah.
live happy
Yes, okay.
lives.
You're saying, yes. So the framework by which normally a label of terminal gets laid upon a person, 25% of the time the person recovers. I don't believe that's to be true. But even if it is the case,
Okay, give me counter evidence.
No, thank you. I have said
Very
the
intellectually lazy, then, isn't it?
very lazy. The mechanism by which euthanasia would be applied would be much more rigorous
No, it's
than
inductive.
some doctor just
Completely inductive.
go and shoot him in the head.
Okay, how
It's
many
not that,
doctors?
is it? It's not that.
How many cohort of doctors?
Yes, I believe that
Yeah?
it would be a mechanism. It would be a court procedure. It would be.
And what is it?
I would say Many heads working together.
How many?
Just many.
Just many men wish death upon me. Pow!
Yeah.
It's not enough, bro, because I'm telling you many cases, documented cases, peer-reviewed cases where people have gone on to live happy, healthy lives. And psychologically, we are told as well that sometimes people that maybe don't have families, maybe don't have that moral support or this support.
Hang on a second. Also,
they actually want to die.
Also, you're saying we have knowledge in the evidence of peer review that we know of the terminality, the death rate of terminal diseases. We could factor that in and become more accurate with our diagnosis of terminal. We could say, oh, you have this type of condition. Oh, it's an 80% chance. Hang on, let me read the peer review. Do the maths. Oh, it's a 75%. We could work it out.
Right. I see what you're saying. But said diseases doesn't imply that, okay, now somebody else that has that same disease will survive. I'm saying there are certain people that can survive from terminal
that would
illnesses,
all get captured. That would all get captured.
We just don't know how.
Yeah, I know. You're playing ignorant. I do not believe we're as ignorant as you.
No, doctors play ignorant. Because it's completely based on induction, it's based upon who's on duty, it's based upon the expertise of the doctor. Yeah. You're not going to have Dr. House going to every one of these individuals and diagnosing them. Even Dr. House has his off days as well, where he just completely off
I've seen that episode. But so I would say, let's say we set up this mechanism by which I would advocate for the application of euthanasia. Yeah.
Kill the old man.
Yeah, and no, let's say
kill him.
Let's say we do a test. Let's say we do a test, Shaja. We say Jamie's mechanism of the application of euthanasia. We say if he ticks it, it's a yes. If he doesn't tick it, it's a no. But then we don't actually do the euthanasia.
It's never okay, in my opinion.
No, yeah, exactly. So we see what happens, and let's say Jamie's situation is able to predict with 99% certainty whether the person will die or not.
Hypothetics. Don't kill him.
You're running away.
Because you don't value life like we value life. We actually value life.
I value living a good life.
Okay, now you've added the word good in it.
I have.
And who decides what a good life is, what a bad life is?
This guy here.
Mr. Jamie over here. And what's your morals? The ones that are?
It's to avoid suffering and to maximise thriving and pleasure and goodness and.
That's nonsense.
Well,
because
me alive.
Okay, let me give you an example then. Yeah. Again, it's a thought experiment that's used against utilitarianism.
Man.
If there is a girl that's locked in a castle or something, and she is brutalized every day.
Oh dear.
However, because of that brutalization, the entire town prospers.
Yeah.
Is the suffering of that girl okay according to your worldview? So the majority can have pleasure and thrive?
Yeah, it is one of the bullets for utilitarianism, because it would be right. If her suffering would then to alleviate all these other people's suffering, on the maths of my theory, yes, I'd have to bite the bullet and say, unfortunately.
So you're not for the rights of women, you're not for the, caring about the life of somebody and not wanting to, because that is you said, a good life. That is a bad life.
Yeah.
Torturous life.
Yes, I know.
An innocent girl, a young girl, and she believes in liberal democracy.
But remember,
and she wants the people in Iran to be free as well.
Remember, we are in a hypothetical world here, and also utilitarian fails because it can never understand everything all of the time. So therefore, we use rights to say, maybe we should just enshrine these things. You cannot infringe on these rights.
Who decides the rights?
Me and my buddies, we say you have a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You can't infringe on someone's rights.
What's the pursuit of happiness?
Pursuit of happiness is just it comes close to freedom and just to enjoy yourself, to feel what is good and to feel what's bad. Why? How do you live, by the way? How do you live?
No, because surely the pursuit of happiness.
What do you pursue? How do you live?
Yeah, but pursuit of happiness doesn't mean happiness. It's pursuing happiness as if it's that carrot being dangled in front of the donkey, forever pursuing
I always find it funny because I fall into the position quite often. I'm having to defend my worldview. But it's funny, you're the one with a very strong worldview, isn't it?
No, but my worldview. No. Because
you have famously a strong worldview.
Because when you ask me my worldview, I famously not only defend it, but I evidence my worldview.
Okay, so let's talk about it.
But when we come to your one, you're unable to evidence it.
Let's go to yours. Let's talk about yours.
Ask me those same questions that I asked you under my worldview then.
Well, I asked
about that girl.
No. Let's
ask me about that girl.
No, I'll ask you a different one.
No. Let me answer about that girl. Are we allowed to torture that girl and do that? No.
Okay. Are you allowed to...
because we care about children, we care about, liberty, we care about lives.
Are women allowed, Islamic women allowed to take off their burqa?
Yes.
They can just take it off and throw it in?
They can, the burqa,
The hijab?
The hijab?
Yeah.
Under a Sharia or outside of Sharia?
In the Sharia?
No.
No, not allowed to take it off?
No, they're not.
They're forced to do it?
So it's part of the law for them to wear it.
Yeah, so the law tells them you have to wear that?
Absolutely, it's part of the law.
What would happen if they took it off?
Then, depending on the law of the country, depending on what's decided, there will be consequences.
Consequences?
If they are unhappy about those consequences, they can move somewhere else.
Are they allowed to leave?
Yes.
Okay, so they say, sorry, I want to leave this religion.
No, I want to leave this country. They can leave.
They say, I'm going to leave this country and this religion.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine. So everyone's allowed to just leave.
In Islam,
are they allowed to come back?
Yeah, in Islam, if you decide that you are not following that faith, and you keep that to yourself, you're welcome to do that.
Yeah.
If you now start announcing it and telling other people and causing drama, there will be consequences, yes.
Like what?
Well, it depends on the law. If, for example...
So like stoning or something like that?
No, so if you're looking at, for example, the Ottoman Empire, you take the case of Vava Nam. Vava Nam left the religion, so they were kicked out of the country. Were extradited because that was the law. They had treaties with neighboring countries. They Vava Nam converted to Christianity. Based on that treaty, they were kicked out. So at the time of the Prophet, they had the Treaty of Hudaybiyah. If someone leaves the religion, then you have to send them to us. So yes, we do have concept of treaties, but yes, we also have the concept that if someone leaves the religion and then they are causing chaos in the land, yes, it is also conceivable that they can be put to death as well.
Whoa!
That's also conceivable, yes.
You're putting people to death?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Just like Anwar al-Awlaki, who was a citizen of America that went against the treason laws, he was in Yemen and he was killed via a drone strike. This was an American citizen that was, same reaction please, put to death.
No, it's not this. Well, if you're talking, are you saying there was a targeted strike on an American citizen
Absolutely,
that deliberately killed?
Yes.
That deliberately killed. Okay,
and his son as
then
well.
That is putting to death someone.
And his son and his daughter.
Yeah, it's not.
And 3, treason.
Then it's exactly the same thing that I would condemn. Because we used to put people to death as well in the UK.
And it's conceivable within the liberal framework.
No.
Absolutely.
It's
part of the law that you can put somebody to death if they go against the treason laws.
Yeah, I know, but it's not. I just don't like it.
Yeah, I know you don't like it, but we're talking about the technical aspect of the laws, right?
No, we're talking about moral philosophy.
Yeah, you speak to many people. Do I like that somebody gets put to death? Of course not. Nobody likes being...
We're talking about the moral philosophy. I don't think it's right. I just don't like it.
Oh, if somebody goes, I like people being put to death. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said that the laws of hudud, which are the punishments that you're saying where a person is physically harmed, they are used for deterrent purposes.
Yeah.
It's not something that gets dished out.
Yeah.
So it's not
almost
something,
like, it's like if someone does something wrong, you can cause harm, so it's like to torture them a little bit.
Not torture, it's actually a punishment.
Yeah, I know, but it's like you torture them because you're like punishing them as like a torture.
Absolutely.
So you would torture the girl in the thing.
Not torture,
for the
punish.
betterment of the society.
There's a difference.
You do agree with torturing the girl, but you literally just said it.
No, because over here, you're talking about difference between torture and... What was the other one?
Punishment.
Yeah, torture and punishment. They're two totally different things.
Yeah, but it's the same, isn't it? You said...
No, it's not the same if they're different.
Okay, let's say you said...
that girl was being tortured, therefore it's unjustified.
Okay, but if she was being punished...
Yeah, if she was being punished for breaking a law of the land, then yes, even according to your framework, it's fine.
Okay, well, I think I'm going to leave it there.
Okay, let me give you an example. Do you believe that when a person goes to prison, the maximum security prisons, when they're kept in solitary confinement for months on end, do you think that's punishment, or do you think that's torture, or do you think it's both?
Well, that really shouldn't be happening unless in certain circumstances.
It is happening.
Yeah, in certain circumstances.
Is it torture or punishment?
No, you're right. It's both. It's both. It's much of a muchness, really. It's much of a muchness.
And that's something that's conceivable within liberalism and utilitarianism.
Like my states of North Sweden, Scandinavian nations actually have rehabilitation programs. We believe that it's not the best idea to just punishment and cause torture. We actually believe in rehabilitation, helping the person grow away from
we, Scandinavian countries.
Yeah, I know, but I try to be my friends with the friends.
Am I your friend in the friends?
I think we do all right. but I was going to walk away, but I'm going to try and push you a bit more.
Go on.
Because as we look around the world, I want to like look at different Islamic nations, and like I want to get your little detector about like, oh, good or bad. And so as we scan it over, like it's difficult because in the Middle East there has been so much meddling within these situations. But like, let's just say we just detect the output of the side. So like we do the UAE or Saudi Arabia or wherever, Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan or Pakistan, wherever you want to go, yeah? I just wanted you to give me a sense of what you think these societies, how well they're doing.
So post World War II, you had something called the Sykes-Picot Agreement, yeah? Because of that, you had about 2 or 3 countries that drew borders, split up tribes, and installed vassal leaders. We believe, if you take the case study of, say, Palestine, the Muslim leaders, they are Muslim leaders, quote unquote. They're not following the laws of Sharia as much as they should be following. A lot of them are installed, a lot of them are not doing what they should be doing, a lot of them are just, doing whatnot. So we don't believe them to be role models and presenting, Islamic utopia in the best way possible.
Yeah, but like, I think because I'm trying to like...
Same with democracies.
Yeah, I just think, because I'm trying to get a sense of like somewhere that is practicing Islam as a state.
Malaysia.
Yeah, Malaysia.
That's a good example.
And you think that's a good...
good.
You agree with... No, I mean like, that like is practicing the type of Islam that you like.
No, it's not about the type of Islam that I like. There you have a country that follows Sharia significantly, and they have a great output as well. They're not involved in these political, economic wars, so they are representing Islam in a significantly better way possible than other countries.
Yes, I know, but I think I'm asked, because I agree, Malaysia's very lovely, whatever, but I was wondering like how much Islam it is. Do you know what I mean? Like how close it is to your Islam, or like how much you think
Very
it is
close.
Islamic. Oh, that's cool. So you would model, like, let's say, Middle East states, let's say, because we're trying to extract the influence of the other nations in the Middle East, yeah? So they would be very much like Malaysia, you're saying?
Yeah, if a lot of countries were like Malaysia, I think they would be better off,
Yeah, but you're putting that horse before the cart, I think, in a certain way.
Go on.
Because I'm trying to work out, like, let's say I had a people and then they were taught Islam and then they were free to make a state based on what they think were good or bad, and they may build a state. So it's sort of like an Islamic-built state.
Right.
What would that look like? Do you know what I mean? And so I'm asking you to say what that is. You said Malaysia's a good example of that as an Islamic state.
Are you asking me for criterias of that state?
No, I'm saying, like, I'm just asking if you sort of vibe with, so you're vibing with Malaysia.
Yeah, I already told you I do.
Yeah, okay, that's it. And then so in the Middle East, if we like enacted Sharia and Islamic rule in a way that was not like so mingled up with like oil and geopolitical decisions and tensions in the land, we would get like Malaysias all over the Middle East.
Yeah, pretty much.
Huh?
Yeah, if it's done properly, because even if you look, did I go back on what I said?
No, it's just like if it's done properly, adds a little.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I mean by properly, because ultimately we have free will, right? So even the way Sharia is applied, as long as it's done according to jurisprudential teachings, then we say that's Sharia.
Yeah.
If somebody then says, oh, so-and-so should be put to death, okay, what's your criteria?
Yes,
No, that person will say, okay, where's the evidence? No, I as the ruler have decided. No, not you as the ruler. It has to be proven according to the precepts done in the jurisprudential texts. That's why I'm saying it has to be done properly. Some would argue the UK follows democracy. Switzerland follows democracy. However, Switzerland's democracy is different to that of UK because they have small entities called cantons. Yeah, we have slightly different version or interpretation of democracy.
I mean, because exactly. There was just one more thing, because you answered the question. There's a parallel that I was trying to draw. You know, if people that say they're socialists, and then so we say, okay, let's look through history. Where was like socialism applied and whatever? And then they go, well, that's not true socialism.
Exactly.
I was just making sure that you're not doing, oh, that's not true Islam. You were saying, no, Malaysia seems to be true Islam, and you'd be happy with that.
Yeah, as much as we know, because the thing is that, I'll give you an example, Poland. Yeah, there were a couple of places in Poland, I saw this a couple of years ago, I think about 1 or 2 years ago. There were a couple of places that were quite, they were unaccepting of LGBT. There were a couple of European countries that said, you know what, you were due to get an $80 million package from us. If you proceed with this, we're no longer going to give you that package.
Yeah, big time.
And you know what, it's completely unacceptable to us.
Big.
So that sort of stuff, even in Pakistan, when you're looking at certain countries and how important those packages are for people, you will see certain countries compromise on their morals and their values.
Are we saying Malaysia's compromising?
No, I'm talking about Pakistan and Poland as an example, because Poland a couple of years ago, Pakistan a couple of years ago also, about a year ago, Biden offered them a package as well. To the English teachers, if they also teach LGBT there as well,
of course,
then they will get, a large chunk of cash.
Good.
And for Pakistan, that's very significant.
Yes.
And if they do that, so then somebody might say, oh, in that aspect, Pakistan is, very close with Islamic rulings. However, over here, why are they not? Yeah. Well, the why are they not is to do with political pressure, right? It's to do with economic pressure. What I'm saying is that certain countries will be affected compared to others.
I suppose that leads me on to, okay, what nation do you reckon has like most freely strove towards Sharia and Islamic state rule?
Malaysia has strived. Some countries have strived, but then they've been infiltrated.
Yeah.
Like Afghanistan has also strived as well. I think Syria strived as well. However, the people in Syria and Afghanistan, when they were there, they also noticed that there were certain groups that were being lobbied by other countries that had vested interests. For example, Israel, they had a very big vested interest there, and they started funding other groups and arming them with weapons that, again, these things are already proven. And when that happens, then things become watered, but certain countries have tried.
Yeah. What do you think of like liberal, secular, democratic, humanist states like the UK?
Well, we're here. We love it. That's why we're here, right?
Yeah, well, I love it.
Yeah, there's certain things that we disagree with, and we follow the law of the land to critique it, for
example.
But unfortunately and sadly, when we put our own politicians forward, when we follow democracy, you see the far right saying, oh, there's a brown mayor over here, oh, there's this guy over here, oh, they're taking over. But we're like, we thought we were following the rules. We thought we were following democracy. You know what I mean? So,
but it's nice, isn't it? It's like nice. We're like free to do what we like. There's not too many punishments unless you do like rules that are definitely wrong.
No, but that's
nice.
An issue. There's an issue that there aren't too many punishments because the fact that, if you look at about 4 months ago, people were actually scared of coming to London because they were worried they were getting stabbed, their phones taken, because the police was simply not forceful enough. People fondling a child would get maybe a couple of years in prison, but defacing a Churchill statue, they would get 10 years in prison. So no, it's actually not fair. We would actually ask for more severe punishments. People fiddling with kids, whether it's groomers, Pakistani groomers, whether it's Indian groomers, whether it's white groomers, we think there should be the death penalty being brought. If you have been proven to be fiddling with a kid, hang the knob. No pun intended.
No.
Hang him by the knob.
No, definitely not the death penalty, but definitely the most severe.
And what would that be in your worldview?
Well, I suppose it's got to be absolute. It's got to be a very strong punishment.
Which
not
is
a punishment. Like I say, I align very much with Scandinavian nation. I actually believe in rehabilitation. I believe these people are incredibly sick and unhealthy, and I believe we should intervene. Obviously, they don't. They're not allowed to keep their liberty and. Just self-governance, whatever, so we have to restrict them. They are a danger to the society, profound danger, horrible danger. So yeah, I would try to help these people because I think they're ill, but they are not part of my society. They are dangerous.
So I'm actually aware of the case study you're talking about in Scandinavian countries, and here's how it looks. So you've just fondled a child, and you've done all of that. Now, according to the rehabilitation scheme, you get housed in a very plush place, and you get given a lot of things that will help your rehabilitation. So in other words, somebody living in London, struggling hand to mouth, he'll think, you know what, if I continue struggling hand to mouth, it's going to be a problem. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to fiddle with a kid, and I'm going to be put up in a really... I'm going to be put up in a really plush house. I'm going to get all these people... all these people coming up to me and asking me how I am and giving me the attention, because you know how it is, people are very lonely and,
do you really think Scandinavia...
What do you think about that?
Do you really think Scandinavia...
I've seen it.
Yeah. Do you really think Scandinavian prisons are feet up luxury, bloody servants bringing porridge?
They do. That's part of the rehabilitation.
I have seen the pictures of whatever, and I haven't read.
Michael Moore has done an entire documentary on it called Where to Invade Next, and he's given us documentary footage of here's a rehabilitation scheme in Finland, and here's what's happening. The guy he's a killer. He's killed many people. He's surrounded by knives. He's now been put up. He's like, I have a job now. It's things are very good. And then Michael Moore goes, I was very tense because here's a killer, and he's surrounded by knives, and he goes, I'm a bit cautious that you're surrounded
Well,
by
actually-
knives. I don't kill anymore, you know. Bro, I would love to go there.
Hang on,
Someone
but-
coming in, asking me how I am, giving me knives.
Just to show where we are, because
Sharia.
no,
I
it's
like the way you did that.
just to show where we are. In Scandinavia, they have a large welfare program because they do not want people to be on the streets living hand to mouth. So they are trying to raise up the whole society altogether. So I'm not going to just forsake my principles of rehabilitation. I don't like punishment and torture for people that have done wrong things. I think it's a way to sort of just make the person more and more unwell. So I would try to help people rehabilitate themselves.
You
But
don't
I also
believe in deterrence.
so the I thought,
Traffic,
I
when
thought,
you go,
I thought the
speed limit.
I thought the restriction of liberty would be a ridiculous deterrent. We restrict their liberty, and if
Do you,
someone.
though?
Well, in Scandinavia, they absolutely do. This guy in prison, he's forced to be in prison. He has not got a choice of where he is.
But he gets to meet with his family.
Sure, but
And he's got friends in there. And people network
yeah, but
with other criminals.
But would you accept a life where they just take they take things away from you? Like you don't.
I don't believe a kiddie fiddler should be put up in a plush hotel.
You think they should be killed?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just don't like that idea.
Yeah.
I also
And hung by the knob.
yes. I think people are unwell when they think, and also you got to factor in a lot of crimes are committed because of social economic factors. It's just.
But
facts.
when you're talking about unwell people, surely the law over here takes that into consideration as well. If they are unwell, then they get certain provisions, right?
Yeah, but there's a really dodgy thing that happens in our situation where the leniency of the punishment or the charge, the leniency of the charge is diminished because of the criteria. It shouldn't be like that. It should be the charge is the charge and it gets laid full, but we take into consideration their capacity to be harmful and the harm they've caused in the society and the risk they pose, sort of thing. So you do the charge because you have to charge them. You're meant to keep an eye on making a healthy society.
So
you can't just kill everyone that's fucking.
So describe rehabilitation. Describe how that looks for me.
No, I can't.
That's because it's going to be problematic when you do.
No. Do you not
serial
believe,
killer.
Do you not believe that, let's say, a kid on the streets that is in gang violence, his mum's got no money, and he gets caught up in some stupid thing, he picks up a knife one day in red hot fury and stabs someone, we're going to kill him.
I think he should be.
We're going to try and rehabilitate him.
I think punishment should be there. However, rehabilitation also.
Well, there you go.